F1 the movie. Brad Pitt powers through a high-octane racing epic. Director Joseph Kosinski from Top Gun Maverick teams up with Brad Pitt in an F1 movie, a pulse-pounding motorsport drama that blurs the line between Hollywood storytelling and real Formula One action. And the action is the real set piece here, guys. You're going to see this because of the cars, of the big sound that you're going to see on the screen. Brad Pitt, Damson Idris here play the two leads, where you know how this is going to go, right? He's the older mentor. He's the hothead young shot guy that's going to have to try to prove himself, and they're going to butt heads. But eventually, at the end, they come together to win the race. F1 the movie comes in at 84% by critics on the tomato meter, 97% by the audience. So that means that this is an overall crowd-pleasing film. And indeed it is. Set against the roaring backdrop of actual F1 races and filmed during live-action Grand Prix events, F1 delivers breathtaking realism. Brad Pitt stars as Sonny Hayes, a former Formula One legend, making a shocking return to the grid to mentor a young rookie phenom played by Damson Idris. And what keeps this movie going on the gas is immersing viewers in the intensity and danger of elite racing. Like, it felt authentic. Every race sequence feels visceral thanks to the on-track filming and cutting-edge camera work pioneered by the same team that brought you Top Gun Maverick. And with that being said, let's go over to the score sheet here, where acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point. Acting is pretty serviceable. Brad Pitt is good. Damson Idris is good. It's serving the movie. So I gotta say 1. But Javier Bardem is also good in this. Kerry Condon, who plays the engineer, is also really good in this. But there was one other person that kind of stood out to me. And if you go over to the IMDb, we can see that the cast is fairly well-rounded. Yeah, Kerry Condon, really good. She plays the engineer. Can't echo that enough. But there was somebody else in here. Liz Kingsman here. She stood out to me because when I saw her, she immediately jumped out off the screen. I was like, who is this person? I want to see more of her. And she's just a small role in this. But I found myself saying afterwards, I want to look up her resume. God, James, you can't just stop this review to simp for Liz Kingsman. Yes, I can. Why not? Anyway, she was good in the movie. Guys, I'm just trying to say that the cast was fairly well done. And based on that, I think I am going to have to bump up the acting to a full 1.5. Now, there's nothing Oscar-worthy in this, so I'm being generous here with the acting. Directing, Joseph Kosinski here. Obviously, he handled the execution of the driving sequences very well. The technical aspects are gleaming. It's the highlight of the movie, right? And the story elements were okay, but I can't give it a full 2 points because there are some story issues in here, for sure. The story is fairly simple. As you saw from the trailers, he's the older mentor. He's going to come in and try to teach this young guy the ropes of what it takes to be a real F1 driver. And it does kind of hit all the marks that you would expect that kind of a story would. Now, what also hinders the story a bit is the runtime of 2 hours and 35 minutes, because it does seem that there could be some parts in here that could be cut out. There always seems to be this studio executive that says, we gotta have a love story in here. We've got to make sure that they love each other, or because we want a bigger audience. And it's it felt a little shoehorned in for my tastes. I know why. It's just always going to be those old dinosaurs that think this way. It's always been like that from the 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't understand it. Just have Kerry Condon in there as the engineer. Have them work with each other out of just respect. We don't need them to have that romantic fling. And I think that will add some runtime for people, where it'll be okay, it's a bit too long, and it's a simplistic story. It really is. What do you think happens in the end? Do you think they win the race, or do you think they come in second place, or do you think something happens where they both learn from each other, or maybe two of those? It's going to be one of those things. But the story right now, I'm going to give a 1. Cinematography, you saw from the trailers, guys. You saw from the trailers that I'm going to give this a full point because of how sleek and real it felt. Trust me, as I said, see it on the big screen, see it on the IMAX, and when you hear the cars go zipping by you, and there's one part at the end where you just feel like you're flying on the track. Breathtaking. Score. Now, the score and soundtrack are also really good in this. Tons of needle drops in here. I'm going to give it a full point as well, because this is the kind of soundtrack that you want to own right away when you're done watching this film, if you like hip-hop, EDM type music. But on top of that, Hans Zimmer guys did the soundtrack for this. So he added a cinematic score to this that really elevates it. And when you're sitting at the end credits and you're hearing Hans Zimmer, it's just, yeah, it totally helps the film along. So for that, I'm sitting at 6 out of 10 for F1. Let's go back to the tomato meter and see what some of the critics and audience are saying about this, to see if that echoes what I've been trying to tell you guys. Hollywood Reporter, big, noisy, obvious, and hugely entertaining. And that it is. That it is. Mark Kermode, it's Brad Pitt goes fast and then smiles at you in a slightly cheeky way. It's the very definition of a bucket of popcorn movie, and that it is. Oh, that it is. It's a big summer popcorn movie. See it on a huge big screen. Yeah, can't echo that enough. Audience reviews. Great movie with ups and downs, keeping you engaged throughout. Well, as I said, there's a few slow parts there and there. Irving, good movie, just too long. Well, okay, so he ranked, Irving gave it a good score, but he even admitted there that it's a touch long. And that runtime, I think, will come back to hurt some people. RogerEbert.com. F1 is exactly what a summer blockbusters are supposed to be: exciting, romantic, funny, glamorous, and purely entertaining. Okay, let's take a look at some other people who did not like it. It's not that F1 is a bad movie, just a painfully silly one. And that can work if it's what you're seeking. On its own, it's a stock race car movie whose magnetic visuals do a lot to help an uninspired story. Well, guys, as I said, it's pretty, the story itself is pretty simplistic. You know, the mentor guy is going to have the whereabouts and the experience to mentor this young guy who's just full of himself, right? You know where that story's going. I can see that, but you're not watching it really for that. You're watching it because you want to watch them race, and you want to see the cars, right? F1, the movie isn't a DNF by any means, but it's not exactly pole position. No, you're just being dirty. No, people are just being dirty. For God's sake. Unbelievable. Some people. I don't know why. Sorry about that. Maybe I should cut that out, but maybe I won't. You guys get the picture here. It's a crowd-pleasing film. It's a big blockbuster. So let's wrap up this score sheet here and get us out of here for F1 the movie. The watchability factor is out of 2 points. And if you like the trailers and you like cars, it's worth seeing once in the theater for sure. But would I watch it again? I would. I totally would. Whoops. I'd give it a 1.5. But guys, there is that story issue in here. There is. It's long and it's simplistic. It's not going to be mind-blowing at the end, right? None of the characters are that deep. They're riding that line of being absolute cardboard. But it's the execution of the director marrying in the pacing of what the story is, knowing that it's a simple story, and knowing that it's Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem, Carrie Condon, Liz Kingsman. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's really good. Damson Idris. Yes. F1, the movie. 7.5. Ooh, is that good? Yes, it is. 7.5 is a good score. It's not going to be one of my favorite movies of the year. It's not going to be on the top 10, but it's just a well-made, fun popcorn movie, and I think that's what you should be expecting if you want to have a good time at the theater. I think you can't go wrong with F1 the movie. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains.